welcome to another example reading video. Today I will be talking about a couple of unusual lines, the Suwon Crease and the forked head line, and a little bit about some success lines as well, and whatever seems to stand out on the hands. You might be aware, if you've subscribed to my newsletter, which is through my website, you can go to website and subscribe, and you might be aware that I am doing example reading videos from your hands. If you have something unusual, I'm interested in having a look and see if it's worth doing a video for you. Now, today I'm talking about a woman who is 34 years old. I'll just bring up some pictures. Here we go. See how I've adjusted the photo so that all the lines stand out, because she has such delicate skin and fine lines. I had to make them look a bit more coarse. And yeah, so she does have the water type hand, which usually is fairly sensitive personality, and she has got some unusual lines. So starting out, I've got a mess out in front of me. Just got some information. Yeah, so starting out, she does have, at the start of her lifeline, she does have a few stress lines which reach the very long heart line. And these are early signs of stress, and she has confirmed that she did have some loss when she was only 5 years old, and she also confirmed that she moved around a fair bit when she was young, so that can show lots of obstacles. Not that a young person really has obstacles, because they are dependent on their parents or parent. So here she has the unusual line of a Suwon crease. I'll draw that across. This is a heart line that goes all the way across. Now, it might not be so strange if it weren't for also having a line. It looks like it's forked, so it looks like a normal part of a heart line and a Suwon crease. So she appears to have a Suwon and a normal heart line all in one. So she might be quite an emotional person. If she's not, she's going to go the opposite. She's going to be cold and kind of like workaholic type. So more work is more important. So she might even fluctuate between those two, of having a cold personality to having an emotional personality. So potentially it shows a stubborn nature, because it is a Simian line variation. A Simian line is when one line goes across the whole palm, and she does have headlines present too, so that makes it the Suwon crease. And the headline is floating. That is another unusual sign. A floating headline might be common in such Suwon crease type lines. And not only is her headline floating, she has a fork in that headline. So this depicts some changes and two different personalities. It's called a writer's fork, but when it is such a big fork, it can indicate almost a dual personality, much like her Suwon crease cross heart line is also indicating like a dual type personality. Now, she has not confirmed of any such thing, so I am just taking guesses based on these unusual lines. So what I mean, especially with the headline, what I mean by dual personality is, for instance, because the line at this end shows more practical personality. The line pointing to the Mount of Moon shows that emotional and moody and creative personality. So it could be an accountant, for instance, who loves dancing, or it could be a business person who's also an artist. It could be a farmer who designs cubby houses, for instance. So it's two specifically different characters. There is some cases where such mark combined with other marks can point to mental illness such as schizophrenia. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't have that, but having the fork headline can just alter that personality to such a degree. But anyway, I will go on to the right hand shortly. I'll just quickly explain this gap that she has between the lifeline and her Suwon Crease. That shows that she, at a very early age, became quite independent, and that she was confident at an early age. It shows someone who's secure, like not an insecure. Insecure personality would be someone who's uncertain of their decisions, etc. So that shows that she is quite confident in her motives. Okay, let's bring up the right hand. Right hand, I will talk about a few more extra lines that I see that stand out. On the right hand, she also has the Suwon Crease, which is right across. It's fairly frazzled looking, so it might just depict some of her nervousness. Maybe she has a little bit of nervousness in her nature. And the headline seems to be floating, but she has these stress lines that kind of attach to it. So the headline actually starts from, I'll change the color, headline seems to start from there and floating, and once again appears to have a fork. So she might make a good writer if she uses her creative and practical abilities all together. I'm not sure what her profession is, but she does have many potential creative signs on her hand. So the health lines stand out quite a bit because she has many lines there in the light green, if you can see that. Maybe I'll change it to yellow. Oh, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, so these lines along here are mercury lines, or her health lines, and they show that she might have potentially a sensitive stomach. So she might have to be careful with what types of food she eats, maybe not too much spice, not too much alcohol and things that might upset her stomach. She has success lines, which are very several, is that even English? Anyway, she has several success lines that are forming from the age of around 35. It looks like she might have many things on her mind as to what she is doing or what she wants to do. There's more success lines rising from the Suwon Crease, which indicate several hobbies, several business ideas. Maybe she has a business where she does multiple things in the business, but they are good signs of beginnings of success. So that's a good point there. She has other lines that I will mention here. She has some achievement lines which rise from the lifeline. They point to around about the age of, in her early 30s. Travel lines as well, and there's travel line travel line, lots of little travel lines. So she might be doing some kind of travels in and around the 35 to 40 age mark. And her fate line appears to be, just change colour, her fate line appears to be rising towards the index finger. It looks like a fate line. If that's the fate line, it shows a very ambitious nature. If it's actually a part of the branch from the Suwon Crease, like on the left hand, then that just shows her two different emotional characters. Now on this right hand, she also has the Suwon Crease separated from the lifeline and with the floating headline that shows that independent nature. So they've learned to think for themselves at a young age. So she either by choice or circumstance, I would say in her case by circumstance. So only thing she needs to be careful with this is not to be too impulsive. So impulsive acts she might regret if she does that. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that video, and I look forward to doing more. Just send me some. Go to my website and you'll find a link, contact us there somewhere, and send me your photos and your question, and I'll see if you qualify for an example reading. Okie dokie. Thank you. Bye.